If you've ever promised yourself, tomorrow I'll finally be disciplined, only to wake up and do the exact opposite, then this video is for you. When you think about discipline, what's the first thing that comes to mind? For most of us, it's the belief that once we become disciplined, everything else will finally fall into place. We'll achieve our goals, get the body we want, build the business we dream of, create a better life. So we spend hours watching videos on discipline, hoping that tomorrow we'll finally become disciplined. But then tomorrow comes, and we hit the snooze button. We skip the workout, we procrastinate, or we tell ourselves I'll start on Monday. So maybe the real question isn't, how do I become disciplined? Maybe the better question is, why is it so hard to be disciplined in the first place? Because once you understand what's actually making discipline so difficult, you can finally start building a kind of discipline that lasts. When I first started working on becoming more disciplined, I wondered why I chose to doom scroll instead of working on making my life better. Then, I had to stop and ask myself, why do I want to be disciplined? I realized I had goals I genuinely wanted to achieve, yet I kept finding it so hard to make myself do the work. That's when I realized the problem wasn't a lack of ambition. It was mostly psychological. In today's world, technology has made it almost impossible for us to sit with discomfort. Our brains have become addicted to comfort and instant gratification. And that's exactly why being disciplined feels harder than ever before. So, how do we become more disciplined? The first thing I want you to understand is that no one is born with discipline. Anyone you see with incredible discipline wasn't born that way. Just like a video game, they had to level it up through years of practice. And the only way to level up your discipline is by facing resistance and doing the work anyway. Every time you feel like avoiding something, that's your opportunity to strengthen your discipline. If you wake up and don't feel like working out, that's your opportunity. If you don't feel like studying, that's your opportunity. Getting better at discipline is no different from getting better at any other skill. You don't become better by watching videos about it. You become better through repetition. Just like learning any other skill, you have to do it over and over again. The same is true for discipline. You have to keep overcoming resistance again and again. When you see someone who can work for 8 to 12 hours a day, it's easy to assume they were just born that way. But the truth is, they weren't. They simply spent years doing the hard things, even when they didn't feel like it. And I also want to clarify something. Going to the gym 6 times a week doesn't automatically make you disciplined. If you enjoy every second of it, you're not really training your ability to overcome resistance. Discipline grows when you choose to do something you don't feel like doing, and you do it anyway. That's how you build unstoppable discipline. So if you don't feel like working out, but you do it anyway, that's when discipline is built. Because you chose to do what you didn't feel like doing instead of what felt comfortable. The same applies to every area of your life. If you don't feel like studying, but you study anyway, if you don't feel like waking up early, but you get out of bed anyway, that's how discipline is built. Every time you conquer that resistance, you're strengthening your discipline. The more you do it, the easier it becomes to choose what benefits your future instead of what feels good in the moment. Before jumping into doing crazy things like working 8 hours a day or going to the gym every single day for 2 hours, you should start with the little things first. Look around your room. Did you make your bed? Have you washed the dishes? Have you organized your clothes? If you haven't mastered these small acts of discipline, then you're probably not ready for an 8-hour workday or 2-hour gym sessions. Start by building discipline through the small things. Clean your room. Wash the dishes. Organize your clothes. Because if you don't have the discipline to do the simple things consistently, how are you going to have the discipline to do the difficult things? The way you handle small situations is usually the way you'll handle bigger ones. That's why small acts of discipline should never be overlooked. They train your mind to become more disciplined over time. As you consistently do the small things, your brain gradually becomes more comfortable doing harder things. That's how discipline is built. Small actions accumulate into big results. That's the power of the compound effect. So the next time you're faced with something difficult, don't see it as a burden. See it as an opportunity to become a more disciplined person. Because every hard task you complete is another step toward becoming the person you want to be. And if this video helped you see discipline in a different way, make sure to subscribe, because this channel is all about becoming the best version of yourself. And if you have your own strategies for building discipline, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. Thank you so much for watching.